welcome to our predictions for ROH Supercard of Honor 2024. My name is Evan,
I am Javier.
and we are here, as we have been, I guess, recently, predicting what we think is going to happen on what is probably the first major show of WrestleMania weekend in Philly. Ring of Honor coming to town for a good card.
A show that we still hold a grudge with Tony Khan over
We
because he
do.
announced it too dang late.
He did. We had already secured our tickets for Tribute to the Extreme 2, which we will be at. You can follow us on social media at Crossbody of Work to see all of our photos and stuff from that. But we, of course, are going to predict who we think is going to win all the matches at ROH Supercard of Honor. I will say Javier's at an advantage for this because he watches a hell of a lot more ROH than I do.
I wouldn't say a hell of a lot more, but I am more knowledgeable for sure.
Okay, we'll start at the beginning. ROH is starting a Women's World Television Championship. They have the inaugural tournament, and the finals of that tournament is Billy Starks versus Queen Aminata. Who do you think is going to be the first ever ROH Women's TV Champion?
I think it's going to be... that's tough.
It's
think
tough?
it's going to be Queen Aminata.
Okay.
I do. I think for storyline purposes, it makes more sense for her to win the title because it then just leaves Billy Starks open for something else.
I think it's actually going to be Billy Starks. I think based on the interaction, because I was at Collision and the ROH tapings this week, I think it's going to be Billy Starks winning, which will be a very nice, feel-good moment for the show and ties into my prediction for later. We also have the ROH World Television Championship, the men's ROH TV title. Kyle Fletcher defending against Lee Johnson. Who do you think wins that one?
I hope it's Kyle Fletcher. He's really good, and
he's really good.
I think Mark Davis is still hurt for another few months, so let's let Kyle Fletcher go.
Lee Johnson really has been impressing me in some of his matches, and he's somebody that I see clips on Twitter all the time. I'm like, oh god, I gotta watch more Lee Johnson matches. I am also gonna go with Kyle Fletcher though. I don't think there's anything broke, so let's not fix it. What really good TV title cards and this part of the card for ROH is really strong. The mid card's looking good.
Good. I mean it's a brand that's on the up and up. They've gotten very young. They're starting to diversify a little bit. I think Eddie Kingston, which I mean we'll get to it later on, has been a pretty credible champion. I think that if they just keep building and building, it's the Field of Dreams thing. If you build it, they will come, and if you keep putting out a good product, people will come watch it.
And you know who else is coming for Supercard of Honor? Stardom. Stardom is here. There is a Stardom Showcase 6-woman tag team match on the card. And now I guarantee you and I, not very well versed with the women of Stardom. That is a gap in our own knowledge. It's Mycera and Empress Nexus Venus, which is Mina Shirakawa and Maika, versus Tom Nakano and Queen's Quest, Saya Kamitani and AZM. I call this a pick'em. Who you got?
Who do you got?
I am going with Tom Nakano and Queen's Quest because I know Tom Nakano.
Yeah, it's Tam Nakano. I think Tam Nakano. I mean, I just love AZM. She's awesome. And I believe Kamitani might be the one that does the really cool rotation into a crossbody. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, she's really good. I saw Mina Shirakawa wrestle Anna Jay when I went to Big Business for the ROH tape.
Okay,
so she's also really, really good as well. She's super young too, which is kind of insane. But yeah, I think this will be a pretty good match. I mean, listen, I know AZM, I know Tam Nakano. I also, from what I saw of Mina Shirakawa, she's really, really good. So, I think this honestly might be able to steal the show if they give him enough time out there. But I do think at the end, Tam Nakano's team's going to win.
I feel very confident in my pick based on your reasoning. I like that. I can just piggyback on your reasoning to feel better about my pick. This is good. To the ROH Women's Championship, and Athena, who has been champion for quite a while, defending against Hikaru Shida. Who do you got and why?
I think Athena's going to retain. It kind of goes back to why I think Billy Starks is losing. I think that'll lead to more. So Athena starting to berate her again. and be really, really mean to her for not winning the Women's World Television Championship. And because of that, it eventually leads probably the next ROH pay per view to another singles match between the two of them where Billy Starks finally wins. And in order to do that and have that fun story, I need Athena with the title. So she's got to retain here.
You and I have done the same story, but with different titles. I have Athena losing because of a miscalculation by Billy Starks. Then Billy has a title. Athena says, "You should just give me the TV title because I'm a real champion. You're not a real champion." Like some
But
sort
they
of,
don't do that. They don't.
but,
That's not their dynamic. Billy
but
doesn't really interfere. Athena just wins.
But that's the thing is she could just be trying to help because there was a lot of that when I was watching the interaction when I was at the ROH taping is that like Billy's just like really excited, not only for her TV title, but also she's so excited and so proud of Athena. And I could just see that being well placed and poorly executed. Like it's she's trying to do the right thing. It just doesn't work out. Also, just Hikaru Shida's rules. Athena also rules, but there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with the belt going on to Shida.
No, no. Whoever wins this match it would be a worthy champion, but
Yeah.
I hope it's Athena.
I think your style, like your plan, also works, and I think having the feud of Billy and Athena for the title also is probably a stronger feud because it's for the world title. But what an exciting way to start off the TV title reign than by having Billy versus Athena! Like what a big prize, right?
Yeah.
Now the match I'm most excited for on the ROH card this time it is Johnny TV versus Dalton Castle in a fight without honor. Who do you got?
I mean, would anybody say Johnny TV at this point? Like,
No.
it's going to be Dalton Castle because it's the pay per view and it's a fight without honor, and this has been going on for months to the
Yeah.
point where the Tate brothers or the Tate twins have been released. So now we don't even have the boys. This would have been for the custody of the boys
Yeah.
for Dalton Castle to get it back somehow, but now it's done. And like it really handcuffs Dalton Castle in my opinion, which is not
Yeah.
cool because as we learned in Dalton Castle's episode that we did a while back, he's really good. And it sucks that that element of his character has been stripped away, but I'm sure this will be a really good match. It's a fight without honor. There's going to be blood. There's going to be mayhem, and I think in the end we'll get a bangerang, and Dalton Castle's going to win.
I love Unhinged Dalton Castle. It is going so well. And
Yeah.
there is a small argument to be like, keep him unhinged. But the thing is, you need to give him a win. I hate that we lost the boys in terms of, the fact they were released. Have you ever lent something to a friend and then you go to get it back and they're like, oh, I don't know where that is? I'm like, how did you lose it? Like, you borrowed
Yes.
it from me. And that's how
FIFA 15.
people don't forget. That's how I feel about like Dalton, like the boys were with Giant TV and then now they're not there anymore. He's like, what do you mean you lost my boys? Like
My children.
you lost people. Dalton Castle, it's going to be a good match.
Yes.
We both have Dalton because I think he has to win here. To the announced, I assume, main event of the evening, it is ROH World Championship time. Eddie Kingston defending against Mark Briscoe, even though they will team a couple of weeks later with Edge to go against House of Black in what is a weird time. And I know I called him Edge. I know his name's Adam Copeland. It's fine.
It's
Who
the
do you
same
have?
thing.
Who do you have winning the ROH World Title at Supercard of Honor?
Since this is a make good on whenever their last was it Death Before Dishonor back in December, I think
Okay,
it
yeah.
was. This was supposed to be the main event, but Mark Briscoe wasn't medically cleared because of his knee. I think the outcome doesn't change in my mind. I think this is what would have happened then if not for that injury. I think Mark Briscoe is going to win the title. I do. It's a feel good moment. It's WrestleMania weekend, Supercard of Honor. It's the title that his brother Jay held, I believe, 3 times.
I think that's
Um,
right.
it's 2 or 3. And, he's one of the best ROH champions of all time. It's time for Mark, who never really got a shot to run with that title, to get that opportunity. And of all the people there, he's Mr. ROH. So it's only fitting that he get his chance to hold the big belt up one time.
He's a two-time. Jay was a two-time world champion. I also have Mark Briscoe. I think that is just where the heartstrings pull me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just meant to be Mark Briscoe's time. I think this also could sneaky be the best match on the card. I know
Wouldn't be
neither. I know neither guy is known as like a technical savant, but if there's one thing that both Kingston and Briscoe can do, it's tell a story.
Yeah.
And if the story's going to end with the big emotional swell of Mark Briscoe holding the title, I think they will get there in a very enjoyable way. So I would not be surprised if Briscoe wins, and also if it's like a really memorable match.
Yeah. I mean, it's two guys who have respect for each other. Both obviously personally and also, as characters in wrestling. And it's two people who have fought and scratched and clawed to get to where they are today as singles performers. And Eddie has already lost a continental belt. I think this, him losing here is just a continuation of a story where that triple crown is starting to dissolve a little bit.
It's just fading away. Yeah.
This is the ROH title leaving him, and the next up is going to be that New Japan Strong TV title or whatever it is that he
Yeah.
has, and then we get the next phase of Eddie Kingston. He's one of the resurgence of Eddie Kingston over the last few years has been incredible. And I'm really excited to see the next phase of it. But in order to see the next phase of it, we need to see if he's up here. He's got to go down a little bit. That's just how it goes in wrestling. And I think Okada started that, and losing to Okada is not bad. Losing to Mark Briscoe, not a bad thing either. So it'll be a really emotional moment. I'm sure it'll be a really good match, and I can't wait to see it.
Our only differences on ROH Supercard of Honor predictions are the two singles women's matches. I have Billy Starks and Hikaru Shida to win the matches. You have Queen Aminata and Athena to win the matches. It is up to you, people. Tell us who you think is going to walk out of ROH Supercard of Honor 2024 victorious. Let us know your predictions in the comments. We'll keep track of all of our predictions from WrestleMania weekend. We'll see which of Javier and I are the winners after the big weekend where we will be in Philadelphia. Javier says, go check out the podcast, Cross Body of Work. Go check out our merch. The link is in the bio, and it's also in the show notes down below. We'll be back with more predictions for the WrestleMania weekend soon. We'll talk to you then.
Later.